Let's see. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all. You know, I should have cut. What time is it? 4 minutes. A little early. Actually, a little early. But I am going to prepare what I need to do, baby. What is this? This one? That's a foil. We're doing the groovy grid and falling squares. This one is what? Stained glass garden and Finch's floral backgrounds. Oh, diggity. Not sure if anybody's there, but I'm going to wait a few minutes. But what I'm going to be doing today, well, let me say hello, everyone. I'm going to be using stencils and foiling after I saw Brutus Moreau's live that he did the other day. He made some like really beautiful like rainbow card that was so pretty. He convinced me to try foiling, and I'm going to try and foil. Actually practice, or I should say I should cheat it a little bit. I stenciled using, oops, I actually used Deco foil, this transfer gel, with my foil. And that is what I'm going to be doing tonight and making a card with that. Hopefully it's not going to be too painful. So the stencils I actually use, and of course to make things a little bit easier and a little less painful, this is one of the newer stencils that Brutus Moreau recently came out with, and this is called the Groovy Grid. And it's got a bunch of funky little sort of wavy lines. It's really hard to see, but I went ahead and used the transfer gel. And actually, this transfer gel dries really quicker than I thought. As long as you don't goop on a bunch of it. You just apply like a nice thin layer over the paper, and it dries actually really quick. And you can see, I'm not sure, I feel like you can kind of see that. You can see this is the stencil here, and I'm actually using the whole piece. And I actually use this one here. I kind of did something funky with this one. This is called the Stained Glass Garden. I didn't use the whole stencil. What I sort of did was, I don't know if you can, it's probably going to be hard to see, but I took it and I laid it on it like this, and then put on the transfer gel this way. And I didn't put it like all the way to the ends because I wanted it to look kind of blotchy, because I'm going to use it like a sort of background. And then I took it and I laid it on this side like this and kind of blotched it on. You'll be able to see actually what it looks like better once I actually apply the foil to it. And then I actually did another one with this, or I'm going to try to do one with this one, and this is called the Fallen Squares. Really pretty one. I like this one a lot. And I'm going to use, or attempt to use, this beautiful, because I love flowers. Everybody knows me, probably knows I love flowers, and this is called the Vintage Floral Background. It is the Brew 1746, a very beautiful stamp set. And I want to show you quickly. This is what came out one of my practice. You can see how really nice it comes out with the stencil. This was sort of a maybe holographic gold foil paper that I use. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to foil this piece here. So I just really want to kind of see what it really looks like when it comes out like, hopefully. Let me see. People will be able to hear me. I'm going to apply some foil to this piece here. I'm going to use this really pretty sort of rainbowy one. Yes, Brutus, I sort of copied you from last night. I couldn't resist because the card he made, like I said, was so pretty. So I wanted to give foiling a whirl. I don't foil too much. I have a laminator, and I also have a what is that foil machine? The Spellbinders Glimmer foil machine. I also have that machine as well. I think I'll do it this way. So to make sure that it's covered well. And I try to write on the back of stuff so I remember what it was that I used. Let me just move this out the way and cut this here to size. I'm not wasting so much foil. Yeah. Just like that. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this over the top, and I'm going to apply a piece of, cover it like with another piece of cardstock, and then run it through my laminator, which I have already heated up like right behind me. Fortunately, I don't have this area set up quite yet. So I'm going to run this through. I'll be back just a second. As I'm waiting for that to kind of run through. Like I said, I already pre-stamped the vintage floral background. I'm going to be coloring this because I think what I'm going to attempt to do, hopefully it comes out right. With the one that I had the fallen squares, I'm going to sort of cut out pieces of this and then lay it on the card and see how that comes out. So actually, I think I want to use this flower bunch here. And all these little flowers you can sort of cut out to shape, you know, like you can cut in between here and then lay it where you have like an overlay and then you got the opening, which would be really nice. That thing came out, hopefully this came out right. If not, I'm going to be really upset. Let's see. Ooh, probably shouldn't have done that. How this came out. Is it coming out? Some of the blotch. Probably could run it through again. And like I said, I put it on there sparingly because I wanted it to look like there were spots that were missing. I wasn't trying to be perfect because I wanted to use it as my sort of background. Ooh, see? And I like how that looks. So I made this. And this is, like I said, using the sunset stencil. And then I'm going to use this I'm going to stamp something on it and then make this a card. But first, what I want to do is I'm going to start coloring this flower here. And I'll probably color some of the colors to match the foils. I'm going to be using RV02. Color this flower here. And I stamped this on Express It paper. And I'm a person that typically colors light to dark. But then sometimes I may color the other way, just kind of depends. But there is no right or wrong way to color this. Yeah, I really like the very big, bold flowers in this set. I'm huge, huge, huge. I'm actually going to use the RV09 flower fan. I love, love, love flowers. Add some of this darker color here. Sort of where I would think my shadows would be. Just kind of add some of this color. The sun will be coming down so that the top portion of this flower is going to have more shade. This inner piece right here. And I'm going to use RV04. Sort of blend this all together. I do need to add some more ink to some of my Copics. I don't take care of my Copics very well. When I should, for especially how expensive they cost. I should probably do that. Add some of the color in here. I'm going to blend this out with the RV02. This card, I'm kind of actually probably changing things as I go along because I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do or how I was going to make the card with the foil. Yeah, very nice. I need to add a little bit darker. RV59, some of the inner portions here. Kind of darken it up a little bit. It's for people who maybe not big, maybe huge Copic fans. There's so many nice, what do you say, tutorials you can watch on YouTube on different color variations that you can use with your Copics. I'm not a big, huge person. I'm making a bunch of tutorials. I'm trying to get into that more, but that's probably where I learned to color a lot, off of YouTube. Very, very helpful. There's so many really good crafters out there that do so well. There, and that darkens it up. Now I'm going to color my, I think this looks sort of like a daisy. Color this yellow. And then what I'm gonna do is cut this out, I think. Sort of make it surround the foil background that I sort of made. Let's add some color. You don't have to worry so much about coloring outside of lines here because I'm going to be cutting that out. So not worried about that too much. Because the foil that I use has a lot of nice blues and pinks and purples and reds. So I kind of want it to match a little bit. I'm going to use Y38 here to darken this flower up. Sort of just flick some of the color into there. I like to get into doing foiling a little bit more. There's so many pretty cards now that you can make with foiling, and you really don't even if you didn't want to do a lot of stamping, you can just pretty much almost just foil and make a card very pretty and just add like a sentiment, and it's just is beautiful. Now I'm going to make the center here brown. Let me use this E. Is this the right? I put the wrong tops on sometime. E35 in the center. And I'm going to darken up the edges with this E29. And I just do this by kind of adding just a little bit of sort of dots in there. Now I'm going to add E37 to sort of see if I can blend this a little bit in there. Blend it out again with the E35. Oh, I like it. I think I'm going to make the center here maybe yellow, maybe not. Maybe I'll try purple or something. Not a big purple person. Maybe not. I think I'll do yellow instead to brighten it up some. I think these are the leaves, like in the background. Now I'm going to color this flower a bluish color, since there's blue, sort of a, yeah, bluish teal in the background of the foil. Let's see, what matches this? Sort of looks blue, tealy or something. Let's try, no. I think I'm going to use B21. I'll use this color series. I'm going to use B21, B23, 24, and 26 for this flower here. I like blue flowers. I use that color variation quite a bit when I make my cards. I'm not the greatest with videos, and I'm trying to do better with that. That takes time and practice. Some women are so good at it. One day I hope to be better. And I'm going to use B24. I'm going to darken this up. Look at this color out there. Just turn this on and flick this color out. Nice and pretty. There. I'm going to darken this up. I think I'm going to use the B29 to darken this up. There. I really like making the where you can see the change in color drastic. I know you should blend. That's what everybody does, but I kind of like the real noticeable sudden change of color. To me, that's cool. But maybe everybody don't think it's cool, but I like it. I just kind of flick my color. And I like this blue. Really nice blue color. I think that's a petal there. Yeah. That looks like it's a petal there too, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Now I'm gonna try. Maybe I'll try and blend it a little bit. It does look a little funky. Yeah. Blend it in there a little bit. You can sort of leave the ends a little brighter, where you can see some of the white. That's always a very cool look. I'll do this, brighten this up, blend this all out. Oh, see? It's coming together. Now, I don't know what color to make that center. I think I'm gonna color my leaves first before I decide on that. And with my leaves, I tend to use YG23 a lot, and then darken it up with like G28 to really, can't tell, you know, see the color change, color this leaf here. And I'm not coloring the whole thing because I'm gonna cut, actually fussy cut it out. And I believe that looks like a flower petal. It's kind of hard to tell. This is a leaf here, I know. Flower, flower, flower. Not sure. Can't see. I think this is a flower. I mean, a leaf. It's not a leaf. I've just made it a leaf. Okay. Let's see, baby. Now, I'm going to use YG7. No, this is not C. I don't put tops on right. This is G28. So now I'm going to use, if I find my G28, that's probably the YG17. Huh, yep, it is. Now I'm going to add this color to my leaves that I just colored. I think the dark color will really help when you lay it against the foil. Just darken this up some. There's some more leaves here. It's a very pretty flower set. I like really big, bold flowers for some reason. So when I add the darker green, I will try and blend that out. I need to use my G29, but I think I lost my pen. Sort of color the edge here. And darken this leaf up. It's my G28. Cover this area here. Darken this up some. Looks nice. Darken this over here. This looks like a leaf here. I'm not sure how much I'm going to color on this. That'll depend once I get it all done and colored out. Now, I think I'm going to make this center pink or something. Maybe it'll look kind of funky, but I'm going to go with it. Because sometimes it may seem like it's going to be weird, but once it's all like done and put together, then it doesn't look as bad. Kind of comes together. We're going to see. And nothing's ever really ugly, right? Because it's all art. And everybody's different. Everybody's taste is different. We don't have to all be the same. We don't have to all like the same thing. That's the beauty of it, because we can all learn from each other. So now I'm going to, I think I'm going to color that, because there's red. Ooh, red, because there's red in the foil. My favorite red that I like using is the R22, 24, and 29 with a touch of E44 to darken it up. I tend to use that a lot. Oh, and also the R81, 83, 85, and 89. I love that color combo a lot. I use that a lot. And I'm trying to do better about using more of my markers instead of just the same ones for as much as they cost, you know. You got to use all of them. Yeah, I don't make that. Let's see. So we make this. Color this first. Color these out. Color this out. Color this out. I just really love this red. It looks so nice. Really does. And I think I'm just gonna blend this more into there. I'm not gonna use too much any of the other colors in this color group. I'm gonna stick with that, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of E44 just to darken it up a little bit in the centers. This gives you really good sort of shadow, the E44 with the R29. Really makes the color come out. And my dog's in here with me, so I'm not sure if anybody hears him complaining, because I'm not paying him any attention. But he is my crafting buddy. He's always in here with his mama. So that's a good thing there. I like that. You know what? I think I'm going to make this thing here. Red on the outside. Just to kind of, hey, kind of goes good for 4th of July, right? Red and blue. Let's see. I like that. I do. So, I'm just going to make all these funky little things here. Maybe purple. Yeah, I'm gonna try purple. Purple's not my usual color, but I'm going to use purple today. I'm not sure what these things are either. Maybe they're supposed to be, I don't know, some type of flower. Almost reminds me of like baby breath or something like that. I'm gonna color this the same color. I don't want too many different colors in this stuff. Yeah, not too much color. That way it's just not, you know, like all over the place. Perfect. I like that. How are you? Now, I'm thinking I am going to use these two there, and I'm going to color it the same color I color this flower, just so that it sort of, I don't know, blends well with the foil. Then again, I may do something totally different. Just depends on how I feel like it looks. Not quite sure. I actually didn't think about this ahead of time, so I am not sure. So I am winging it, and I'm not a wing it type of person. I'm really stepping outside of my comfort zone. Does that look like a leaf? I can't tell. I don't think it's the flower. Or maybe it's the stem. I can't tell. I'm lost on that one there. But I'm going to make this one the same color as that one, because I'm going to cut it up to that edge. And I cannot tell what that is, but I'm thinking it's part of the flower or a different flower maybe. Yeah. Okay, baby, let's see now. Let's do RV04. Let's color this. I never was like this hot pinky person, but lately I have been using this color quite a bit. Like I said before, just trying to really utilize all my markers more. You know, they cost quite a bit, so you definitely want to use them wisely. Just brush out some of this pink into this. Make it nice. Yeah. Right there. I think that's a leaf. I'm going to make it a leaf. I'm not positive, but I'm feeling that's, I don't know. That one's kind of throwing me. Not sure if it's a leaf or not. Kind of looks like it. But I'm not positive, yo. Darker color in there. Let's add some of this color here. Kind of brush this out towards the ends. Brush this out. And then what you can always do when you're finished coloring this, which I do a lot sometimes, is like add stickles or glitter to it. Kind of brightens it up. Kind of gives it a nice, cool, funky look. There. Yes. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, I feel like this is just not, I'm really not liking what I did with this big yellow thing. I'm going to try and add a little bit of orange. Maybe that'll make it look a little better. Yeah, I think I like that better. Definitely not a yellow person. You will not see me use a lot of yellow. I just cannot get it. It just does not work well with me. Like orange and browns, because I am a big Halloween fan. Well, I love the colors in Halloween, I should say. Yellow. Although I love the sun. I do love the sun. I think it just looks better for some reason. Do white team here. See if I can get it to blend or look a little better. Look a little prettier, livelier or something. Okay. Okay. I think I'm good with that. Now, like I said, I don't know what that is, but it's about to become a leaf. Might be a flower or something, but I'd like to have more leaves. So I'm going to make it into one or part of something. I'll add some greens in there. Okay, yeah, to me that makes sense. Where's my G20? I'm gonna add some G28. More color here to darken this up. Add this color here. Okay. Fix this. Daughter just came in. She loves to come in and just, I don't know, drive me nuts. Okay. So, now that I'm done with this, so what I'm going to do, I am going to take my scissors and I'm going to, I may have to, I'm going to fussy cut this out. Hold on, I'll cut this with my cutter. So I to know that I cut that straight. I'm going to cut just the shape of all this out. So I'm not going to use the entire stamp, well, entire stamp set, I should say. Because I kind of want it to, as I said, surround the foil. It'll look like it's going around it or something. So let me fussy cut this out. I love fussy cutting things. It's a big challenge to me to see how good I do. Ooh, these scissors are really good too. I just bought these scissors. They were a little, what do you call, too tight, so they weren't cutting very well, but I think they finally loosened up. I think I bought 3 new pairs of different scissors. Probably have over 30 pairs of scissors. Why, I don't know. But you can never have too many scissors, right? You're right. You. Oops, don't fall off. Oh, there we go. And I'm gonna get to where I can get in there and cut this leaf. I have to come around this way. And what I'll do in certain spots, depending on how much I'm fussy cutting, you can use like an X-Acto or a craft knife, as people call it, and cut. You don't have to use scissors. A lot of people will use their craft knife to cut stuff. I can sort of mess up with a craft knife because I press really hard, so I can sometimes cut too far. So scissors sometimes work well for me, as in right now. Like I said, I'm only cutting certain portions of this. Funny, Brianna. I'm going to use this here and cut this out. My favorite pair of scissors are the ones that you don't bother. My daughter and her friend trying to be humorous. So I'm going to use this here. Cut that out. Now I'm going to cut around here. Cut these. Not sure exactly what flowers those little things are, but I'm going to cut there. You can hear my grandson out laughing too. I guess they got him in on it too. Just so hilarious. That's okay. Okay. And for those who didn't know, this is the vintage floral background stamp. And this does well. All around here. Fix this up. Cut all in there here. I like to get in as close as possible and cut out all the white space. Make sure fussy cutting looks so much better. Not fussy cussing. So much better. You see, and actually I think I may cut that thing off. So I'm not liking the way it's just sticking out. Actually not going to keep that part. See, that's a good part. You can cut out whatever it is you want. Keep only what you think goes, what you think matches. Oops, now cut this portion out here. We're almost finished with this piece. So now what I'm going to do is just cut the edges here. Okay, so now you've got this piece here that you can use to lay over your opaque card we did. Now, like I said, I foiled or, you know, prepared different backgrounds for foiling, so I'm not sure. Yeah, that's just not doing it. Not what I was thinking it would be. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to foil. Where is my other part? Where's the other one I did? This is the, what is this? The Groovy Grid. I think I'm actually going to foil this. And I'm going to cut the excess. But I'm going to make this maybe like a, I don't know. They have a really pretty brown. I think I'm going to do I have a really pretty brown. So I'm going to make this brown and then add that to it. Let's see. So I have this brown foil here. I kind of feel like this brown against this would be pretty. Hopefully it does. If not, well, I'll know better for next time. Once I'm done, I'm not going to end up using this entire piece that I made. Oops, got too deep. Got too deep. So, let's see here. Cut this off. Sort of cut that too deep with those scissors. That's okay. I have a lot of foil. But I need to figure out how much I want to. I think I'm going to do just do this whole piece like this. Or should I do it this way? If I do, actually, yep, let me do it this way. And then I can cut the excess off and see what I'm left with and go from there. Brutus, if you haven't checked out the video that Brutus Monroe, the live that he did yesterday, oh, the card, ooh, look at that. The card that he made was really, really pretty. It was like a rainbow looking card, and then he stamped it with the new rainbow stamp set that had just came out. So now I'm going to run this through my foil, and I'll be right back. You know what? I'm going to whip it. What I'm going to do. Hopefully that comes out well. While I'm running that through the foil machine or my laminator, just sort of put some of this stuff. Hopefully that comes out well. If it does not, I will not be using that. I'm going to be going a different route and making this a card a different way, which actually, as you can see here, this is kind of cool. So you actually could have took this piece here, maybe if you colored two exact colors like this and then put it across there, that would have been make a very pretty card as well. But I'm hoping, what I'm thinking with this foil, that it comes out right. If it doesn't come out right, forgive me, but I'm really hoping it does do what I was thinking it was. That's how it comes out. Let's see. Hopefully it does pretty good. And this is the Groovy Grid. I actually like that. But I'm thinking if I used a brighter foil, I think it would have looked better. To me, that's maybe a little bit too dark. I feel like you really can't see. At least I feel like I can't see in the light. But actually, when you hold it up, it doesn't look too bad. But I feel like you can't see it very well. It's taken away from the flower. So it's not exactly what I'm thinking it would have came out like. It's not doing what I'm thinking. I'm definitely not liking that whatsoever. So it's on to my backup plan. So I'm going to do something different. So I'm going to take this piece here that I just colored and just make a card with this, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to this. I'm so disappointed that did not come out like I was thinking. think I should have used a different color foil. That's why I kind of like to pre-do things ahead of time, so at least I kind of know what my card is going to look like. Yeah. Let me get my glue here and glue this on. But it's not a fail, because we're still going to end up with a pretty card, but just not the one that I really wanted. I think we're still going to come out with a win here. I have to think about that a little bit more. Yeah, I think that foil was just maybe a little bit, it's too dark. I really was not liking that. This is just a straight piece. I am going to do this because then I'm going to cut it. And then glue this to a piece of cardstock. Glue this down here. Do you like that? I love how, I actually really like how that came out. Kind of wish I did 2 pieces and then kind of make a card that way. But we're improvising tonight. Okay. Use a stamp of sentiment in there after I put this in. I think I'm going to use a piece of black cardstock. Baby, baby. Glue this to a piece of black cardstock. I have to improvise here, so you have to bear with me here. But I think in the end, it's gonna still come out pretty. Really not pleased with that though. I'm gonna have to make that work. I have to make that work for another live. I actually have another live Thursday, so I'm going to make that work. I'm going to cut this on my cutter. It's cut out here. I really would have liked to see how that looked. I was trying to copy Brutus. I didn't do as well, but I am going to master the foil. That is a given. I'm going to come up with something. So Thursday is going to be the real challenge day to see if I can make it happen. And I am. Okay, got this. And you can see how nice this will be. And we'll stamp a sentiment there. I'm going to glue this here. Some glue. I need to probably buy some different color foils too. Now I'm going to, is this going to work here? Did I make this too small? Maybe make it too small. I'm actually going to make this sort of hang off of here. I tend to waste a lot of paper. I don't always cut too straight, so I waste a lot of paper sometimes. But now, cut this. I'm not one of those persons who measures a lot. It's probably what I need to do more. That's why it's hard for me sometimes to remember. Sometimes people ask me, how'd you make that card? I don't quite remember because I didn't take the measurements. And now we have our card here. I actually really like how this came out, even though it didn't come out as I wanted. And I'm going to stamp a sentiment on here. Let's see. We can stamp on baby. And this sentiment that comes with this is focus on the good. And maybe that makes a lot of sense, because then I should have focused on the good. And the good is that we still came out with a nice card. So this is a beautiful, beautiful sentiment for this. It works perfectly. Okay, baby. Make sure I got the stamp right. I'm going to stamp this. I think I'll stamp this off. Make sure. Sometimes I like to stamp just to make sure I inked it up good, because sometimes it comes out messy. So if it's like a stamp, sometimes I know people will wipe off like maybe the top layer of the stamp, because I think it has maybe like a little residue when it's new. So I'm glad I stamped that off first. Now I'm going to stamp this on here. And there we go. And now we have a very pretty card that says, focus on the good. And the focus is that even though my card didn't come out with the foil that I like, I still think we came up with a really nice card. And thanks everyone for sticking with me on my live. And hopefully maybe you'll come back Thursday when I tackle this foil again.